Let's move to your personal involvement with politics. What conviction led you to pursue politics, and what personal principles or values or shaped or influenced your decision to join you were in Labour before, now NDC?
I was never in Labour. I was in ADC. I was never a member of Labour. I only joined political party. No. I was his supporter. I wasn't a member of a political party. So it's ADC, African Democratic Congress. That's the first political party I joined, and then NDC, Nigeria Democratic Congress, was where I went. The reason why I joined ADC was very simple. It was because of Mr. Peter Obi. In terms of, I saw the fact that being in a political, I was his supporter. I wasn't a member of the political party in 2023. Being in a political party was going to add more. For me, from 2022 to 2027, I've had one simple goal, which is to get Mr. Peter Obi to be elected, as president. But me coming into politics is a different thing. I decided to come into politics in 2021. And I made up my mind that I was going to run for office in 2031. I gave myself a 10-year period. And the reason why I decided to go into politics, so that was even before Mr. Peter Obi. And even then, I remember doing a long memo to PDP and saying, look, if you people really want to, I gave them some advice, and I said, put Mr. Peter Obi and Frank Weke Jr., Mr. Frank Weke Jr. as the face of PDP, and retire the likes of Atiku and Bukola Saraki. So the reason was that I realized that most of the things that we're protesting for or against were actually due to bad governance, and that politics and election is how these people come into office. And if we want to fix this thing, we can't be passive participants where we are not involved with it and just say that, oh, let them just come in, and then we just be on the street. It's be like, doing the same thing over and over again without getting a result. In terms of, so what principle guides me is for the greater good. What is it for the greater good? It's not about me, and that's why for me, I'm not going to partake in any process, even if I'm going to partake in an unjust process, just because I'm going to be a beneficiary.
Okay, your new party, the NDC, now did party primaries. All sorts of issues have arisen from those primaries. People are in court. I've sat with some of them here. Many, are speaking privately. They don't want to come on air to hear their grievances. You also had a falling out with the party hierarchy. There's a trendy video where you stood up and you were challenging the party leadership, including the founder of the party and all of those. But significantly, you wanted to be a senator, but you didn't get that ticket. And the party leader or leadership said they offered you House of Reps, and you turned it down. Are you too big to be a House of Reps member? So
let's go back to the video that you talked about. First of all, it wasn't even to the... So when you say party leadership, what does party leadership...
NWC members.
Yeah, it was NWC. So the way they put it was that, she went to Seriake Dickson's house, that was wrong. There was no Seriake. The party leadership in terms of the chairman or whatever were not even in that. And that video was before the primaries was supposed to happen. It was brought in after the primaries happened, and people made it look as if, after the primary was supposed to happen and it did not happen, that was when I did know. Before that was the night. Okay, it was supposed to be tomorrow, the night before the primaries. No, because from the night before the primary, it went up to the day of the primary, because we left all of that, I think, around 3 a.m. was when we left. And they were trying to change the whole thing. I'm like, no, we need to have, democracy. Put this thing. The Electoral Act says there's going to be, direct primaries. So you can't just say, because at that time they were saying they wanted to elect certain people, just like delegates, to be the ones to do the vote. I said, no, that's not it. So that was where that conversation went. When you said for me, to an extent, it seems as if Nigerians don't want good governance. What they want is to have their own in place. And even as you ask this question now, I'm shocked that you are not shocked at the fact that someone will offer a ticket to someone when we're in a democracy. How is that right? Mm-hmm. And even when I first watched the video and I was like, shoo, person they talk it wrong, no, say they talk it wrong. How do you offer? How then is that a democracy? First of all, I'm going to answer your question. It's a deep question. You say, are you too big? Because that's what he said. He said, we offered Aisha Yesufu a ticket, and she said she's too big. And I'm telling you, Mr. Seriake, or Senator Seriake Dickson was lying. We had, and this is, you wanted short answer, but these are not things that should
Please
have
go ahead,
a short answer. When I joined the party, so let's go back, by January of, no, but after what happened to, that was last year, I think March, April, but after what happened to Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, you understand, that was when I made up my mind. Two things made me to make up my mind to run for Senate this year. Remember, I told you my goal was 2031, not 2027. I gave myself 10 years. So what happened? I was like, no, we can't continue to allow this happen. So I thought, okay, I was going to run. Then I looked at the Abuja, this thing. We have a senator doing her best, but the best hasn't been good enough for the people. And I felt, okay, I needed to do. There's another conversation where I said, okay, let me do this. So run, both see what had happened to Natasha, and then to also solidify the FCT, having, the voice that is needed. In ADC was when I wanted to, there were a lot of issues that were going on back and forth. I never made it public because of those issues that were going on. When we went to NDC, when I joined, I went directly to Mr. Seriake Dickson, and there were, I think we were about 4 of us that had that meeting, with also a House of Representative aspirant. So I was a senatorial aspirant, he was a House of Representative aspirant, and 2 other people. We went into that, we met him. I was really excited, seeing me. I was very excited, he welcomed me, it's good. And I said to him, this is what I want to do. And he said, yeah, there's someone that has already come, wants to be senator, and someone else is also coming, that the 3 of you will sit down and have a consensus. If you do not agree, then we go for direct primaries. Those were the words from Senator Seriake. I said, okay. And that very day, that very evening, I think it was on the 6th, if I'm not mistaken, of May, that was when I put it out publicly.
6th of
May, I'm sure, I think, but I'm not too sure now. Let me not, but I think it was on that 6th of May. And I went, but you can check the tweet, it will be there. I put it and I said, I'm running. I publicly came out and said, I'm running for Senate. And I started everything, meeting everyone. Meanwhile, I had started all of that right from last year. I had been going around working with people. Even the FCT, when we had the FCT area council, I was already on it. I did 62,000 posters for all the wards, that were running. Then under ADC, campaigned with them, went. I thought I'd already
bought the forms.
Yeah?
You bought the nomination forms?
My own?
Yes, for the Senate. You bought the nomination.
Yeah, I did. I bought the expression of interest form. I bought for. No, let me come, because it's what I'm just trying to say. I had been working on all of that even before declaring. So it was, I went around, visited. I'm the only aspirant who went around and visited all the area councils, met with all the ward leadership and all of that. Then one day I come into, some people wanted to see him, and I went in there with them. And I said, oh, okay, Aisha. And he brought the issue of, hey, this somebody had come before, like, this thing, you need to, I'm like, what's going on here? And he said, he offered this thing. And I said to him.
He offered the House of Reps.
Yeah, I was offered the House of Reps. I've said that before, even before he said it. In my distance channel, people are always looking for what to use as mischief. And the way they said it, they came out to put Aisha in a bad light. To smear and Aisha, oh, she was too big. We never had that conversation. When they offered, this is what I said. I said, look, I cannot partake in an unjust process just because I'm going to be a beneficiary. 20 people. As of 20 people bought for, more than 20 were aspiring. And out of that, about, I would say 10, 12, 13, 14 or 15 people had come to meet me that they were running for House of Rep and all of that. I didn't buy this thing for House of Rep. How then will I then go? And then go and collect? See, you are sitting down here. You said to me that I've never acknowledged Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president because I felt the process that brought him in was not a just process, was not the right process. So you then expect me that I have an opportunity, then I will now behave in that way and rig an election and take that ticket. Then I will forever be an illegitimate House of Rep member, and I will never be that. For me, I've always said, even if it's a councillor, it's service. Service is service. But I'm not going to do something in an unjust manner. I believe in doing the right thing. I've never been desperate, for anything. So when I said no, and I said something. I said, look, hold the primaries. And I was willing. And I said this, so if you ever sit with him, say Aisha, so I'm sure he's going to see this anyways. People will take it out to him. And I said to him, help her win me. This person that you want, let the party Let us go for primaries. Let the party even join her. Let them be biased. I don't even have issue with that. They let her win me. Let me know that I went on and I was defeated. I've never had issues with being defeated. And I said to him, I will go online on my Twitter page and I will write, I lost. Full stop. And I will defend the party. Even when maybe people will come across and say, no, but I gave you, help her. But they couldn't. You know why they couldn't? Because I was too big to be rigged. So even if you do that, no matter how you put it, people were waiting.
So you believe you would have won if you had the primary?
Don't ask me, because anything I say will be biased. Anytime you have people within Abuja, call them. Let me tell you something. Even now, there's this thing that is being passed. People even within that, I'm the candidate. I'm telling them I'm not the candidate. Too. After substitution, I'll come out and I'm not. If you're voting, vote for whoever it is that you want to vote for with your full chairs, the person that is there. I'm not the one. But so it's about being too big. And then it comes online. What was that conversation all about? To say you offered in a democracy, and then, Aisha said she was too big. Not once, not twice, to smear my name, and then, this name is...
I think this clarification is very, very vital, Madam Aisha.
Not even just for... Nobody gave me... the thing is that nobody gave me this, and nobody can smear it.
Not even just for Nigerians. You'll be shocked if I tell you that I am actually confessing now that I actually believed Seriake when he said,
no, a lot of people did.
You felt too big. Yes. I actually believe that.
That's thank you for this. And let me tell you something. A lot of people felt, and let me say, we need to say this. We need to do this, because I see, and I'm sending this message. I'm sorry, this interview might be long. I talk for Africa.
No problem.
And because there are a lot of people who felt disappointed, a lot of people who came, they were begging, Aisha, please take it. Aisha, please. See, there were some, when I explained this to them, let me explain it. And I've never explained it this way that I'm going to. I said to people, you say me, I'm a child of, or should I say a person of grace. I've been protected all my life by God's grace. I have done things, I have dared that even if you see me alive today, you'll be like, how is this one still alive? There's only one being that keeps protecting me. It's God. And as much as possible, I've always remained on the path of justice, on the path of equity, on the path of doing the right thing. If I come today and I deviate from that being that I have been even as a child. In the year 2000, 26 years ago, this thing, what was it called? NYC overpaid me. I think 3 times they put money in my account. I went to NYC. When I wanted to rate, people said, no, don't do it, don't do this, it's your money, eat it. I went to NYC, they were angry at me. I had to go to People's Bank, defunct People's Bank. I still have where they stamped it, the money I returned. If I had eaten that money, do you think I will have the voice that I have today? I tell people, when I was writing, there was an exam I was writing in my level 3. And I need for people to understand. I think it was either in industrial microbiology. The lecturer came, I did not read that day. He gave us tests. We wrote the test. I knew I wrote nonsense. I cancelled what I wrote. He gave me 0. I think either over 10 or over 20. I think it was over 20. 0 over 20. Then he forgot to mark, to the right discourse of everybody. He returned. It was an impromptu test. And then people that missed it, he said, okay, they will come and rewrite their own. That was the worst 24 hours of my life. Because I was thinking in my mind, should I just keep my paper and just go and write a new one? But I said, well, God knows that I wrote that paper, no matter what. At the end of the day, I submitted that paper and he gave me a 0. But I still ended up, we had another test, 60-40. I still ended up with a B in that course. That's the kind of person I am. I've gotten beatings based on standing on when I say something. And that's why Nigerians trust me. Then I will now come. People have fought hard. They've spent their monies. If they knew they were going to give the ticket, why didn't they tell people that, no, please, don't collect this. Don't pay for House of Rep. We already make the consensus, the party, please understand. We want to give it to this person. Don't collect people's money. Don't make them waste money to do this. People had spent millions. Some people 50, 100, 150, 200 million on this ticket.
Wow.
Then I will now come and I will take it. And you think that God will be on my side? The next thing, time something will happen to me, I'll do it. No, I'm not a too religious person. Although people say because I wear hijab, but I'm a spiritual person. I always believe that whatever I should do, I should be able to stand before God and be able to say, this is what I did and defend myself. I don't deliberately go and do the wrong thing. So for those who have felt, Aisha, but why not? If we have you there, for me, this is it. And I'm not going to go through a process that is unjust just because I'm going to be a beneficiary.
Brilliant. I think Nigeria could do with many more of you Not because you're spiritual, but because you are highly principled. And it was the former U.S. president, the third U.S. president, Thomas Jefferson, perhaps the greatest U.S. president, who said, God help that principled men become our principal men. That principled men or women become our leading men or women. This is incredible. Thank you so much for this. Very important clarifications. Now, let's make progress. What separates the NDC, your new party, from APC, ADC, PDP, SDP, AAC, ADP? What separates the NDC? Why is it different from the others?
Mr. Peter Obi. Honestly, for me, I say things the way they are. If I'm angry...
So if you remove Peter Obi from the NDC?
There'll be nothing.
Really?
Sorry to say. Yeah.
Really?
I might be wrong, though. This may be my own opinion. Maybe I'm biased.
Seriake Dickson, Senator Seriake Dickson, former governor of Bayelsa State, two-term governor, former policeman, former national legal advisor of the Alliance for... And now current senator, said, that there's no big deal in Peter Obi and Kwankwaso being that in fact he has a better credential, better qualification than both of them and all of those. Are you being fair to say that?
He's as I'm a member of the National Democratic Congress, yeah? And he's my national leader.
Yes.
So he's still my national leader,
yes,
as I'm there. The only thing I would say that there's something called data. You should go and find that. They can do research. Who knew NDC before Peter Obi joined?
Wow.
See, for me, I say things the way they are. You understand? And I believe in let's call a spade and not a garden implement. It is what it is. Even when Mr. Peter Obi, by the grace of God, becomes the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I will still call him. I will drag him. I will say, okay, this is how it is. That's how I am. There is not the only difference for me. I don't know. Maybe some other people. And thing is, this is about opinion now. This is my opinion. Other people will have their own opinion. For me, Aisha Yesufu, the only difference between NDC, ADC, APC is Peter Obi. And it's as simple as that. And a lot of us, for me, I am a Peter Obi supporter. And there are a lot of people who, for them, that is where, the focus is. Because this is one person, for me, that I feel, and a lot of Nigeria sees that he has the empathy, he cares, he wants to do the work. But most importantly for me, he wants a legacy. He wants to be seen in the light of the Lee Kuan Yew and Nelson Mandela. So he do everything to write his name in that, in the good history book. So we need someone that come and do the Jackie work for us.
Okay. It's interesting we're having this conversation, Madam Aisha. I've sat with people who are very close, just like you, to Mr. Peter Obi. Valentine Ozugbo, Kenneth Okonkwo. I could reel out names, people who are as close as you are to him. I mean,
even closer.
Perhaps even closer.
Even closer.
And this, I remember Val Ozugbo, I was trying to press him. He said, Peter Obi is not what people think he is. That he's so disappointed. Peter Obi threw him under the bus. His own words, though. Of course, I don't have to rehash everything Kenneth Okonkwo has said about Mr. Peter Obi. They're all there in the public domain. Tell us what you know about Mr. Peter Obi. Because what I know, what endears him, Peter Obi, to me, number one, fiscal discipline.
Yeah.
Then his austere lifestyle.
Yeah.
That resonates with me. I detest strongly, passionately, flamboyance, obscene display of wealth and consumptuous lifestyle of leaders. That's I find those detestable personally. So beyond his frugality, his austere lifestyle, I don't give shishi. That's some say it's frugal, some say it's stingy. Actually, what else do you know about Peter Obi that we don't know? 1 or 2 minutes. Okay,
I don't know that 1 or 2 minutes, Carl, but let me quickly say that the relationship I have with Mr. Peter Obi is not transactional. It's not that I do for you, you do for me. I want you to come and do for Nigeria so that I can be traveling all around the country. I know that people are being taken care of. So There are some where where people have a transactional relationship where, oh, you're supposed to get this if I do this, and they feel this thing. For example, I'll give you an example. There are a lot of people who have felt, but why didn't Mr. Peter Obi get the ticket for you?
Yeah.
Why didn't he get? I say, why should Mr. Peter Obi get ticket for me? It's a democracy. If Mr. Peter Obi is getting ticket for me, then it's no longer a democracy. Even me, he knows. Even me, I will not accept any ticket.
How many people will even get for
exactly?
Anyway?
People are just sitting there. I'm obedient because I'm obedient. In 2023, I did this. So Mr. Peter Obi must, and he said no. Let the process take its part, and that's how democracy is supposed to work. So you find a lot of people who, because of one thing or the other, that they've not gotten. So for me, I don't have that. This is what I know of Mr. Peter Obi. And you've said the issue of, apart from the fact that he's frugal, he's not stingy. If you come to Mr. Peter Obi with something that is worthy, people's education, people's health, people's whatever, you see him, he's ready to bring out his check and send it in. But if you come to him that you're going to do town hall, where people are going to gather, bring them all over to Abuja, put them in hotel and come out, you have to, what are they talking? What will we not do a talk? So you see, that's the difference. He puts his money where he knows it will be beneficial to the people. And for someone who has worked hard and earned his money, you will understand that this is someone who is born into wealth. He didn't just, see wealth. The other thing is his empathy. He doesn't need a camera in his face for him to tell him that, look, I care about the people. He cares about people. He cares about Nigeria. And this is someone that has taken his time to study and see, what is around the country. He has been all over the country, even as a businessman, not just the fact that, as a, what do you call it now, as a politician. So he knows, the places, and he sees the suffering of the people, and he feels it. For me, that's a really, a major thing. He's also someone who is willing to learn. You see, as we are this say, as we say that here, me and Mr. Peter Obi, we can quarrel like this on this issue. No, sir, this is the way it is. We will have our this thing. If at the end of the day I see that, his point of view was, I'll come and say, okay, yes, sir, your own this thing. We'll be arguing. If he now says it's my own or our own, he will now come and say, okay, yes. Whatever he doesn't know, you understand, he will tell you, he will learn from you, and when he learns it, he will take ownership. And you don't like sponge. He sponges off on knowledge. For example, now you do an interview with him. He might send it out to me and say, okay, critique it. And I write down all the things where, okay, you did this way, you didn't do this way, you did this way. We take over. When he's doing interview, I'm writing down this because this is the way you answer this thing. So for me, is that most important is someone who doesn't feel that he knows it all. And Mr. Peter Obi, he's never afraid to get in people in the team who he knows are better than him, because he will say that's where they can bring in more of those things. So, and this one, how could I have forgotten this one? He's very courageous. If I had gone home now, I'd be angry I didn't put it. See, when they say who has coconut head, it is Mr. Peter Obi. You see his life, he will say, Aisha, if we die, we die. Let's do this. There were places even in 2022 election, right, where we were told not to enter. We flew into Southern Kaduna helicopter. We had been warned, all this thing that the plane can be brought down by terrorists. He said, are there not people there? And you see how he took on this oil theft, spoke about it. The one you people call president.
Let
me round up. Yeah. You see, things that people are afraid to, he can, and he has the courage and conviction to stand on what is right, no matter how people are coming at him. He will stand on this thing. But you see the thing that a lot of people mistake, because of the way he speaks. So because of the ways he's soft-spoken. So he's the kind of person that people not think because of the way he speaks that, he cannot. It's a lie. He is very, very courageous.
Let me try and debunk this last bit. Every other thing you said is I understand. I see them. I agree entirely. But this bit on courage, that's why I say you took it out of my mouth, because that's part of, that was the next question I was going to ask you. You know why? One of those I spoke with, I didn't speak with people following Peter Obi around carrying his bag. I mean, the two people I mentioned, the first one I should have actually mentioned was Datsi Baba Ahmed. He's VP nominee for the last presidential elections. I sat with him almost 2 hours. And one of the things he told me was that, because I said, why are you not with your principal? He said, Wale, he wanted the last elections, the way it turned out, he wanted them to go do, somebody like you, I know that's what you would have done. But you would have scattered everywhere.
No, I wasn't doing that.
That he was ready to scatter and fight.
Why didn't he?
But he said, Peter Obi restrained him. That Peter Obi restrained him. He was trying to be very polite and hold on, Aisha. He was trying to be very diplomatic, but I coaxed that. Anyway, so the bottom line is that even Kenneth said pretty much, is Peter Obi really bold? Is he really fearless?
One thing that Peter Obi will never do, right, is to how do I put it? It's for people to die on his behalf. Peter Obi will never
people's lives at risk.
Yes, put people's lives at risk. There are so many of them. I'm not going to mention names. Now you deduce what you want to deduce. For them, their children are safe. They are out there. Their families are safe. Even they themselves, they will not do it. But they want other people to go and be, to do it for them. That's not leadership. Leadership is to be at the forefront. I'll give you one example. This interview is supposed to be short, but anyway, you see P Square. When I've had interviews where people ask me, is there one regret that I have all throughout the program? And I always say there is one. And that regret was, we had P Square was going to come and perform. They were going to come and perform, I think it was Bayelsa, for the campaign 2022. Yeah, I think it was around December, ending of 2022. They were going to campaign for us in 3 states in the south, and then one in Lagos. When they brought this thing in, Peter Obi said he didn't want them to get into trouble. He didn't want the APC government to come after them, for them to suffer. I was like, sir, they have already shown their support for you. They are ready to do it. We had everything. I was in charge of, I made all the arrangement. I spoke with both of them. They had agreed. Our plane was on ground. We had gotten a private jet. They were going to go to 3 states. They had an interview in Abuja that they were going to, in Lagos for visa, this thing, and then we take them back. We had gotten the private jet. The person that was paying for had paid everything standby. I took almost like 8 hours back and forth. If I were to go to my exchange with Peter, I put down 8 points of why they should be. His own was to protect them. That's the kind of person he is. And I said today, I would have override that. I would just do it. Oga, you say I don't do it, right? But I didn't do that. So that was why they cancelled the first place that they were going to go. I can't remember. And so at the end of the day, they had to, because they were not happy. They said, this thing, they put it out, they canceled. So when they now went to Port Harcourt, because they did play in Port Harcourt, but they didn't make it public. So if you see, that would have brought the people we had in Port Harcourt were not too many that came in the whole organization by the party. That would have been a different thing. For me, I always tell people, that's the kind of person he is. He will protect everyone. He will protect. When former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan said, the life of any Nigeria is not his ambition is not what the blood of any Nigeria. Mr. Peter Obi lived it. No, let me finish lived it with the 2023 election, where, by the way, this is where the thing comes in. People were on the streets in Abuja from before they announced the election up until Supreme Court. You remember that what's his name now? Asari Dokubo was bringing in people to come and attack them in Abuja. All these people that are saying Mr. Peter Obi, why were they not there?